Alright, welcome back, folks. So, I got a few things I've been doing as far as working on my binders. Yes, I like binders, as you can see. I've been going through the sets of the 80s and buying a lot of sets, different boxes, update sets, whatever, and just pulling the stars that I liked at the time or the decent players and some of the rookies, and then putting them in binders. And then other cards I've been putting into top loaders. So I have a full box of, here's an old card that I kept from years ago. I have a full box of a bunch of top loader cards like this here. I've always liked the top loaders, except for the cards do tend to move around in them. If you put a penny sleeve in there first and then on the card, then put it in the top loader, you can kind of negate that. It won't move as much. It's easier to get a card out. It's easy to get a card out of a top loader, kind of like hitting it like that, and then it starts coming out. I guess a little harder with the sleeve. Sometimes the sleeve will come out with it, the penny sleeve. And the top loaders, a good thing about the top loaders, are fairly thick plastic. So I think they help protect the cards pretty good. One thing I don't like about top loaders though is, so for instance, like a box like this, I hope you can see this just a second. So I have a box like this full of top loaders. I find myself when the box is pretty full, when I go to reach down to grab the cards out, I'll end up kind of picking up like this, and I'm afraid I'm gonna put too much pressure there and bend the cards, right? So that's one thing I don't like about the top loaders. And so originally I was thinking about, for me, I'm not into card grading and stuff like that. I understand it serves a purpose for a lot of people. It's just not for me. I just got back into card collecting this last winter and spring. And basically I'm just picking up stuff that I had when I was a kid, or stuff that I couldn't acquire when I was a kid, like a lot of these 83 Wade Boggs, that Hojo rookie. And it's, it's a lot cheaper now for me, and I'm just having fun, really, But anyway, so I like to be able to, I'm not trying to get the highest graded cards, stuff like that. So I like to be able to display my cards. I like just looking through my binders at times. Like when I was a kid, I had a habit of constantly rearranging my binders, based on price. Like the Beckett would show up, and anything below 50 cents was moved out. Anything moving into 50 cents would move in, and depends if it was a player I liked or whatever. Well, I've, for the most part, just added, I have it by teams here. This is American League from when I was growing up. And then I have another binder that's National League, but I said American League because the Brewers are still in this one, because they were in the American when I was a kid. But anyway, same with the Astros in the NL. So what was I doing? Yeah, I want to be able to showcase my cards and not just. So I got like my regular cards that are not like big star rookies and stuff like that in the binder, but my really good cards, like the rookies here, subjective, I guess. Greg Maddux rookie, Randy Johnson, Mantle, Gooden, all these cards. Like, these are just sitting in a box right now, and to me that's boring. I understand they're safer there, I guess, right? So they're just sitting in this box, and like, I don't want to have to reach in here to pull them out and look at, every time I want to look at them, and I'm afraid that I'm going to bend them when it's full like this. I get in there. So I try to grab a few stacks, or just grab one. It's easier, I guess, but I like to just grab a full stack. And if you see that right there, I'm putting pressure where my thumb and fingers are. I'm afraid I'm pinching, and that's going to lead to some bending of the cards, especially if maybe I show this to some people and maybe they just kind of grab it. And that could happen with anything, I guess. So what I'm getting at is I wanted to find a way to display my cards in a binder, but also protect them better than the plastic sheets. I really don't like these Ultra Pro sheets. I know everybody that tells, a few people I've talked to, like kind of on YouTube and stuff, like most people for one aren't using binders anymore, and if you do, they're saying, oh yeah, you just go with the Ultra Pros, go with the Ultra Pros. I understand they're not they're more protective than the sheets we used to use in the 80s and 90s, but they're so flimsy, and they're just so ridiculously flimsy compared to those sheets we had when we were kids. I don't like that at all. I think cards are easily going to get damaged that way. Again, I understand. I'm not trying to build the, Gem Mint 9, 10s or whatever you call them. I'm not trying to knock that necessarily. It's fine. It serves a purpose for a lot of people, but I'm not into that. I don't want to spend that kind of money. I just want to collect stuff I had when I was a kid, basically. So, but at the same time, I want to protect it to some degree, and I don't really like the Ultra Pros. I did get the BCW 100 sheets of those at first. I ended up just throwing those away. Those were complete garbage. Yeah, for those, they didn't even cover the tops of the cards. Half the card was hanging out, which was a joke. So I have compromised with the Ultra Pro sheets. I am using them for displaying a lot of my cards. But I also, and then this is Ultra Pro as well, but I don't know who else is doing this, but Ultra Pro has these sheets like this. They're 4-page pocket page here, if you can see that. So 3.5 by 5.25. So I think this is more for like photos or graded cards would fit in there. But and I thought, yeah, I could just stick in top loader cards. But if you see that Maddox in the top loader is way bigger than that space. So if you put the card in the top loader like that, this is what you get. So if I only had one side of top loaders, they'd move around a lot. So I got two sides of top loaders, but so I flipped the page. So look at that, they're moving around a lot. So I doubled it up. You can't see the backs of the cards, but you can easily pull the cards out and look at them. I guess you might, someone might argue, well, you're being inconsistent here. When you go to grab the card, you could pull it out and bend it like you were talking about before out of the box. One thing I did think of was maybe cutting like a piece of felt or something to put in between here so the cards would stay more. And I just didn't want to go that route. So I do have all these top loaders right now. I don't know what I'll do with them, if I'll just give them away or what. I got 2 full boxes besides the ones I'm currently using that are not even being used. So here's my plan now. I got this idea from another YouTuber. I can't remember his name exactly on YouTube. I think it's Yanks Fan 17 or something. But anyway, thank you. I'm kind of stealing his thing here, but he's no longer going this route either. But he started doing this a few years ago. Anyway, he got these top loader binders, which are kind of expensive, but you can fit sheets similar to these Ultra Pros. It's a specific company, I think it's called Top Loader Binder, and they make these smaller binders. They're not quite as big as these. They come about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way. So they're kind of awkward size, but you can fit graded cards in the sheets. What he was doing was he was taking a Card Saver 1, right? And he's fitting them in the sheets like that. So these Ultra Pro sheets, he's taking, and you can see here, I got 4 cards in each sheet here. So I got Molitor, Jack Clark, Mark McGwire, George Bell. I'm trying to get a lot of mostly rookie cards. But if it's something I don't want to spend a lot on, I'll get their 2nd or 3rd year cards. So that's Molitor's 3rd year. Something on the card there. No, it's on the top loader. This is a top loader that came in the mail. That's Jack Clark's 2nd year, George Bell's rookie, and McGwire's first tops in an athletics uniform. But I've doubled them up too, so you can see they fit pretty good. Whoops, let's come over here a little. Just a second. Sorry about that. And let's zoom in. So you can see they fit pretty good here now compared to the top loader sheets. So if you look at, let's put another one in there. Let's just take that Maddox actually. He's coming right out of the penny sleeve. Oh, a trick I was going to show you guys. For me, what I do with penny sleeves, a lot of people, a lot of people have problems loading, putting cards into penny sleeves or even the binder sheets, because they say, oh, I end up nicking the corners of the cards a lot. And I don't know how some guys do that. I watch some box breaks. Sometimes it'll look like a fairly expensive card, and a guy will just take this penny sleeve or the Card Saver 1 and he'll just put it right in like no big deal. He'll just take it, go like that, and he'll put it right in. And so many times when I've done that over the years, for whatever reason, you end up nicking a card or two right on the corner. You're like, ah, shoot. And it was the card that you really wanted to preserve. So what I do, so here's the card we want to put in the sleeve. This is the Greg Maddux Fleer Update Rookie. I'll take two cards I don't care about. These two crappy 88 Donruss. I'll take the penny sleeve and I'll start both cards in the penny sleeve. Right? So, and I don't care if I'm nicking those corners at all on those cards. So I got the two cards in the penny sleeve, right? I'll take the Maddux and I'll slide them right down the middle. So he's sitting basically right down the middle. Oops, that didn't show up so well. And then I'll slide him right in between them. So I got the card in there. My two crappy cards are there. I'll pull the two crappy cards out. This is harder to do on camera, but it's a lot easier. And my Maddux is in there. I did not nick the corners. Everything's good. And now I can put it in a top loader, or I can put it in a Card Saver 1, whatever. So I've just been putting them in the Card Saver 1s. I got to transfer a lot of my cards that are in the top loaders into the Card Saver 1s. And all my cards that are in top loaders right now currently are in penny sleeves first, to stop them from moving as much. And it's probably counterintuitive really to put a penny sleeve in a Card Saver 1, because the Card Saver 1s do a good job of really keeping the card from moving. That's the one thing. One of the things I'll say with the Card Saver 1 is I really never liked these for the longest time. I never used them ever. I always used top loaders because they were thicker plastic. But I do like that they really hold the cards better than a top loader, even without a penny sleeve. And then some people have argued that like a Card Saver 2 is, it's smaller. Here's a Card Saver 2. You can see how much smaller that is than the Card Saver 1, right? That it really tucks the card in. It can ruin the edges, I guess. That's what I've heard. I never really used these, either one, to begin with. Anytime I got a card in one, I just took it out right away. So, but I do like that they keep the cards really tucked in, right? It's not really going anywhere. I also have come to appreciate the tops of these, because like I talked about before with, let me zoom out a little here. What I talked about before, with the top loaders, pulling them out of the boxes, if the card is sitting upright, let me use this is not a real mantle, it's a 89 Bowman reprint. If the card's sitting upright in the box and I'm go to grab it, from the sides like this, there's a chance I could be bending here. With Card Saver, you have this lip up here in the box. You can just grab the lip and pull right out, and you're not hurting the card. You're just getting the lip of the Card Saver. So that's one thing I like. So that's my tip on loading penny sleeves. It's the same thing you can apply to a binder page, right? Like if I want to put that Nolan Ryan Fleer in there, and I'm afraid that I'm going to nick the card. By the way, I double up my pages. I used to never do this as a kid, but I'm kind of a minimalist, and I don't want to have a ton of cards, yet I want to have all the cards I wanted when I was a kid, kind of. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I'm doubling up pages. Some people told me that you're more apt to ruin your cards that way. I don't remember seeing that as a kid, even though I didn't really do it that much. To me, that's going to make these pages thicker. To me, these pages are super thin and the cards move around a lot. If you double up, they won't move around as much and take up less room. Well, you don't need as many binders, I guess, but you can't read the backs. I always like to be able to read the backs and stuff. So what I'll do is the same thing here. So let's just take this other Nolan Ryan out. You can see there's another page behind there. So there's no card currently here, right? There's a card behind this on the next page. Taking the Sean Hilgis that I don't care about his card, sliding it in there, right? It's in there, just like I did with the penny sleeve. Really just get it started, okay? And then take your card you want in there, the Nolan Ryan, and just have him follow right in behind, and he should be able to easily guide right down there and not have to worry about nicking the card. So yeah, I do that for binders and penny sleeves, and it seems to help pretty good. I get a lot less nicks that way. Okay, so yeah, I guess to recap, what I'm doing right now is, one other thing I'd point out. So I was talking about the Card Saver ones. I like that they keep the cards securely stuck in there. You don't really need a penny sleeve, but I'm doing that anyway. Also, the tops, you can just kind of grab the top lip and pull them, and you're not really grabbing the card at all. They are thinner plastic, but I guess that's kind of the trade-off that you're getting versus the top loader, right? And then, man, I'm at a loss for words right now. I can't remember what I was going to say. I don't know. Anyway, I'm leaning towards the Card Saver ones now. I used to never care for these types of things. I was always a top loader when I was a kid, teenager, or whatever, young teens. Oh, they're thin too. They're thinner. Like I just pointed out, they're thinner, so they take up less room in the binder pages. So I can double up these, and they'll take up less room in a binder page versus. So I got what? Whoops. These are the two cards here. It's a little bit of the George Bell and Lance Parrish. I got a Hojo and Tony Gwynn there with the top loader. But it's just bulkier. You'll see it when you load them in the pages. By the way, I am not a Detroit Tigers fan, even though there's 3 Tigers down there, and that I just happened to buy those cards around the same time. Yeah, that's. Well, I was going to say something else about those cards. I think I mentioned, yeah, you know, I'm not. Oh, so rookie cards. Here's what I consider a rookie. If a card has a Topps traded rookie, like Darryl Strawberry, 1983, then his 1984 regular series is not a rookie. So I know some people consider that the rookie, whatever. I will consider, to me, I would say, yeah, if it's his first Fleer card or first Donruss card or first Topps card, but he had a previous year card that was another brand, then it's his rookie of that, his Donruss rookie, as opposed to his, you know, if he had an 84 rookie that was Donruss, but he also had an 83, I'm not talking about Strawberry, just anybody in general, but he had an 83 Topps rookie, but no Donruss, I would say, yeah, that's his Donruss rookie, 84. But still, I consider the 83 his true rookie. So anything that came out, it was his first issue card. And getting back to rookies is what I want to say was, I don't care for those cards that are, you know, a lot of guys on a card at the same time. Like I think Whitaker, Parrish, and Trammell all have rookies in '78, and they're all on a group of 4 cards. I think Trammell's with Molitor or something, and then none of them are on the same card. So I never liked those where it's like 4 guys, 4 corners of a card, or even the 2 corners in a card, like Mark Grace '88 Fleer with Darren Jackson. So I considered Grace's Fleer update his true rookie for Fleer, because it's the same year, even though the combo card was issued before it technically. But I personally like a card where it's just the guy. I don't want the other dude on the card if we're talking rookies. So those are my little hang-ups. But don't get me wrong, I'll still take a Nolan Ryan / Jerry Kuzman card any day if anyone wants to hand that over to me. Kuzman was a pretty darn good pitcher in his own right. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Not to go on any too much longer, I'm going to. So I have football be doing this with as well. I'll see how much room it takes up in my binders. I have 4 binders here on the table. So, oops, these are my 4 binders. The 2 whites are all baseball, and the 2 blues are all football. I definitely have more baseball because there's more baseball cards issued in the 80s than football. But I really didn't want to have more than 4 binders. So one of the things I'm thinking about is actually getting rid of these heavy-duty binders or whatever it says up there. I bought these all from Office Depot, and that same guy that gave me the idea to do these cards in the 4-spot Ultra Pro pack with the Card Saver ones. He was putting his cards at first in that little binder I talked about that was a top loader binder. But then he ended up doing the thing with the Ultra Pro and the Card Saver ones, but he found these binder things at his work. I think they're called UniFirst binders, and they have specific measurements. But you can fit something like 20 pages in one, and then they seal, and they seal around the edges, completely around the edges of the binder all the way to the outside. So you can set them up on a bookshelf vertically or something. You don't have to worry about the pages falling all over. And that sounds like a good idea to me. That's where I want to go. I'd like to put my binders on a shelf like that amongst a bunch of my books, and I can just kind of pull them off whenever I want, look at them or show them to guests, and not worry about the pages falling all over and everything. But granted, I'll probably need more binders, so we'll see what happens. That's kind of what I'm doing now. Card Saver ones seem to be the way to go. They're not as thick as the top loaders, so they don't take up as much room in the binders, and they don't seem to move around as much. They're cut more for these sheets from Ultra Pro. But I did like how thick the top loaders were too for protection, but then again, they'll take up more room in the binders. So if anything, if you want to do something like this and you don't want to use Card Saver ones, just get these sheets from Ultra Pro. You get like 100 of them online for like $18 on eBay or something, or Amazon, that other Amazon or whatever, Ultra Pro. It's a 4-pocket page, 3.5 by 5 1/4, and then you can either get the Card Saver ones, which are 3 5/16. Can you read that? By 4 7/8. So they fit in there pretty good. They don't move around like the top loaders. But if you don't want to do that, go ahead and take your top loaders. I would recommend stacking them back to back so they stop each other from moving around as much. But also I'd go to like a craft store or something. You can get a big sheet of felt for hardly anything and cut it to size, and then you can fit your cards in there and they shouldn't move around as much, and you have a nice unique little binder. I'm going to shut this off, and I have one more binder I'm going to show here, and then it's going to be sayonara for the night. So we'll be right back.